Neighborhood Watch presents For the Record, brought to you by Normandy Studios. We are your hosts, Os One,
Andrea De Niro.
What's good, fam? We got my man in the building, Cousin Feo. What's up, man? Say what's up to the people.
What up, yo? What's going down, man?
What's good, man? How you been, man? You good? You feeling good, dog?
I'm feeling great, man. How y'all feeling?
Oh, man, we good out here, man. Just bubbling.
That's what's up. That's how it should be.
Definitely, man. Blessing to have you come in the lab with us tonight, man.
Man, thank y'all for having me, man. I appreciate y'all letting me come through.
No doubt, man. You gonna play a couple tracks for us, and then we're gonna talk about some of your other shit you got going on, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Let's get
and
into
then we got
it.
random questions too. Don't worry, we got like random questions. We're gonna throw them in there.
Let's do it, man.
So we got some pretty cool questions coming up for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Dodgers or Lakers?
Oof. Lakers.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's a tough one though. I like that one. That was random.
Dilemma. Joey said we got a dilemma. It's all good though, man. So yo, man, tell the people, man. Someone that doesn't know who you are, never heard you before. What are you trying to tell them? One thing that they need to know about you. Yo, hit us with that.
I MC, man. My name Cousin Feo. You know what I mean? Represent LA, MidCity, South Central area. You know what I mean? Vermont 22nd. That's where I grew up at. You know what I mean? So for me, it's kind of representing an area that I feel don't really got a lot of representation when you think about MCs, you know what I mean? Like when you think about West Coast MCs, you probably thinking about cats from Compton, thinking about cats from Watts, you know what I mean? Inglewood, you know, and rightfully so, you know what I mean? Legends coming from those areas and whatnot, but, you know, I feel like that's an untapped part of the city, you know, and I'm going to just do my part to bring some light to it, you know?
That's what's up. Can you tell us a little bit about where you come from exactly?
Well, you know, born and raised in LA, you know, but I lived all over Cali. I lived in Santa Cruz for a couple years, scattered all around through the Bay a couple times too, you know what I mean? But grew up right around USC, you know, single moms, you know. So I don't want to say the situation was typical because my mom isn't a typical woman, you know what I mean? She grinds hard, she pushed hard, but you know what I mean? Just grew up in that part of town, you know, so everything was cool, but it wasn't easy. And all that, you know what I mean, kind of shaped my MCing. My mom's youngest brother, my Uncle Ryan, was huge influence for me with the rap. He's got it, you know, I used to get his leftover Wu-Tang tapes and I used to just play those things out, you know, and then little by little, just started growing on me more and more to the first time probably 15, 16, I wrote a rap, you know, wrote a rhyme. And I instantly knew, you know, that this is what I want to do. This is how I want to express myself. This is how I want to connect with people. So ever since then, I've been sharpening my blade since I was like 15, 16, you know. I'm 32 now, and, you know, I feel polished, but I still know I can get better, you know what I mean? And now it's just about all that experience, everything I learned from then till now is just applying it and making sure that I'm making these right moves, you know what I mean? Applying this pressure, letting motherfuckers know my name, and just show what time it is. Like I said, rep for that part of the city, you know?
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate that, man. You touched on a couple things, a couple topics I want you to talk about. We were talking about this a little earlier, but like, how do you balance business, artistry, and life? You know, you talking about your family. Yeah, that's not part of hip hop per se.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Then you have your artistry, that's your hip hop, and then you have the business of hip hop, which is how do I make money off of this?
Yeah,
like explain that balance. How do you balance that? That's something I think that a lot of people don't really understand or even exists.
Yeah, no. I mean, life is number one. You know what I mean? Because that's where all the artistry comes from. You know, if you're not living your life and going through day-to-day things that everyone goes through, you know what I mean? Just because you're a rapper or an MC doesn't exclude you from going through struggles, you know what I mean? Personal stuff, you know, things ain't right at the crib, or, you know, you lacking in funds or whatever the case is, you know, hospital situation, health situations, you know what I mean? You never know, it's real life, you know what I mean? So I focus on that because that allows me to, you know, have peace when I'm focusing on my music, and I can really focus in on it and do my best work, you know what I mean? Being more responsible with my time, you know what I mean? Making sure I'm putting my energy into the right things allows me to make the most out of it, you know what I mean? But, you know, as far as work, that comes first, you know what I mean? Because rap don't be giving motherfuckers health and dental, you know? They don't be giving cats retirement plans, you know what I mean? Most insurance cats got it for their whip. They don't got nothing for themselves, you know? And that's the type of, you know, information that I think just amongst MCs should be talked about more, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be ashamed about working a 9 to 5 if you're, you know, doing your artistry on the side. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta hustle. You know what I mean? Like, the rap money isn't always guaranteed. You know what I mean? You gotta really, really grind.
Right.
You gotta really create situations for yourself to really, you know, capitalize off of your artwork, and not every MC can do that. You know?
Right.
So you gotta make sure you're stable in the real world. You know what I mean?
I think your mind is in the right place as
Appreciate
far as
that.
you know, the way you think. You need to work, and you know, you're a rapper and you do what you got to do, you know, to get, you know, where you want to be. Now, speaking on that, what is your creative process when you are creating your raps and getting your beats together?
You know what? Yeah, I guess I'm kind of scattered now that you make me think about it, because if I fall in the right zone, I could be watching a movie, I could have read a book, I could have had an interaction with someone. It could be anything, and it'll put me in the right place where the creativity's just flowing, and thankfully I'm getting production from someone that illest in the game. You know, like that's a huge blessing for me, for producers outside of my guy Kior Meteor, who's my main, you know, the main person I rock with.
What's the name again? One more time.
Kior Meteor, my man out in France. You know, that's another name. If you know me, you gonna know him. You know what I mean? And anything I do, he's coming with me. Just know that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reason cats even recognized my name last year. You know, because he was producing the work. But you know, back to the process. You know, like anything could spark, you know, the creativity, and I'll try to just stay in that zone as long as I can. And then some days I'll go like 2 weeks without writing something, because just my mind and my heart isn't where it needs to be. I think they're not aligned, you know, so I don't waste the energy in trying to force something, you know. I just wait for it to hit me, and when it hits me, it's like a ton of bricks, you know, so I just, you know.
So there's no particular timing for it?
None at all, you know what I mean? And obviously, too, if a producer sends through certain beats, you know what I mean, that'll just spark you up. It'll make you want to open up the book, you know, get up, you know, do your thing and whatnot. So sometimes the producers just spark me up too, you know? So I really don't have a set pattern. I just strike when the time is right, I guess.
Dope. And speaking on the producer from France, you have some tracks coming up with him, right?
Yeah, actually, my first 2 projects, A Little Caviar and Creme Fraiche, fully produced by him. Dropped those last year, you know, try to build a foundation for what's coming next. But yeah, my man's out in France. I actually met him through SoundCloud out of, you know, all the possible ways to meet. But we've been building
all the great things we've had from SoundCloud. Shout out to SoundCloud.
Yeah, for real, man.
Shout out to SoundCloud.
Connecting people in ways, you know what I mean, crazy ways and whatnot. But met him about 5 years ago, was building with him, and now we're here, you know what I mean? So
All right, Shaq or Kareem?
Say that again?
Shaq or Kareem?
Shaq.
Kobe or Magic?
Kobe.
I still love you, man. We still good people, man.
Hey, man,
you know, I always pick the same shit either way.
In my defense, I witnessed him play. You know what I mean?
No doubt. I mean, I see. You know, I can't.
Come on, man. And Shaq called himself the Big Aristotle. Be like, you know what I mean? Like he had the best nicknames, best commercials.
Yeah, he was.
His movies were so subpar. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But the most dominant force ever in the NBA. Period.
So, yo, man, talk about the song you're about to do right now. It's called MidCity to Marseille, right?
MidCity to Marseille. This is
sorry. Thank you.
It's all good. MidCity to Marseille, produced by Kior Meteor. This is off a project that we got dropping later this year. I don't really got a timetable for it, but
all right.
This is something special. People won't hear this for a while, so.
Okay, so this is exclusive little.
Yeah, this is mad exclusive. Not to even just like hype myself, but this is mad exclusive.
The hype train is moving. Let's go.
Yes, sir. What up, Kior? Yeah. It's Cousin Feo. Shout out my man Kior Meteor. About to give y'all a little taste of that repertoire. Check it. Follow me. Yeah. Give you my inner city Odyssey. My dogs off the chain, probably pissing on your property. Ask you where you from and they pulling Glocks logically. and kill cats for curiosity. It's odd to me, some maintaining, others hanging for dishonesty. Truth is, all they know is poverty and robbery. Lot of larceny, cause the block is like a pharmacy. So they stay aiming, hitting targets like it's archery. Catch you sipping 40s and they split you like a policy. No apologies, it's just the corner got its policies. Got the hood haunted goons masked up like Halloween. But me, simple minds call me Socrates. My rhyme book filled with paper thin philosophies. Been rocking properly since the Dodgers had Mondesi. Rule 1, always keep it honest with my artistry. Always been a part of me, flowing through these arteries. Now, and they know I smoke a lot of weed. I'm so focused, flow golden like an autumn leaf. I'm so close, it's not far to see. Yeah, I guess it must be the heart in me. Why? I feel like Moses in the parted sea. Pardon me, but my homecoming was a prophecy. I got no time for attention whores and drama queens. I come from all angles like ninjas of geometry. We can talk it all like democracy, freedoms, and inequality. Conspiracy theories in the economy. The natives, their enslavement, and the states that came from colonies. Gentrification, miseducation, or misogyny. Or how my grandfather's still trying to win the lottery. Or how I'm trying to help these seeds grow like pottery. Or how I'm about to make a mockery. Or who? All these rappers rapping sloppily, homie. Ain't no way you stopping me. I bomb atomically. Middle finger to the nominees. These cats are comedy. Hang my name up with the honorees. My verbal armory mixed in with the herbal ganja leaf. Or have you clashing with the titan like you were to guard some grease. Call police, I'm off the leash, on the run. Son of a gun, 100-round drum when I'm off the beat. Get caught across the street. You see my squad's discreet. My fam known around here, call my aunt Denise. What up, Thea? Yo, it's Cousin Feo, Keo, Meteor, MidCity to Marseille, we get it the hard way. Yeah, I wasn't on the corner in the hallway. I was moving around the city all day, you heard? Yeah, Kelly them motherfucking friends.
Yeah. Yo.
Yes, sir.
Feo dropping the heat rocks. That's what's up, man.
That's what I came for, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you dropping that shit for us, man. Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Yo, man, look. I already know because you've talked already enough times to know this, but where did the inspiration for that track exactly? Where did you write that shit at? Where did that come from?
You know what? I have this habit of sometimes, even when I can't maybe write out a full verse, I'll write a bunch of words that I know rhyme or like phrases that I know I want to spit, you know what I mean? And I'll just write it down. Like, I got multiple people that'll co-sign off of this because they've seen me do it in the studio, but it's just a long run off of words. And I'll literally just add in the stuff on the sides or whatever, just move little things around. And before I know it, I got what I'm doing. And as I'm writing it, I'm memorizing it. So when I go to record it, I can just put the emotion that it needs, you know what I mean? But
Your Meteor.
Yeah, that beat, it is... I heard the beat. I knew I had a set of words that would go perfectly to it, and I just spent my time with it and crafted a gem, you know?
So, Kior Meteor, he's the producer you're working with, right?
Yes.
And he's the one that produced that track that we just listened to.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys link up for that particular beat?
Well, you know, he has this tendency of just shooting me packs, you know? He'll shoot me like 5-6 beats at a time. And he'll just let me pick through what I like, you know? Because of what I'm doing with that particular track, that track is like the opening to a whole story, you know? So he was sending me production that was basically, each track was gonna kind of be like a movie scene in a short film, essentially, you know? After I kicked him the concept, which I don't want to give away too much, but you know,
so he has like a particular feel too to what
yeah,
he
of course. I totally, you know, I give him descriptions of what I'm thinking of, and he just has the ability to give it to me in a beat.
He works with you.
Yeah, he just understands it. Like it's just a mutual understanding. Like I rarely like to suggest things to him because he's that dope. You know, I trust what he does. But every now and then I'll tell him I'm just looking for this, so I'm looking something for that. Like, so and he'll just give me what I need.
And you guys build off of each other.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? Like I said, anything I do.
Did you find him on SoundCloud?
One of my homies did. I used to be a part of a collective back in the day, and one of the cats in it had already been working with Kior, and that's how I met him. You know, we rapped on a couple beats early on, but this was like 5-6 years ago, and then me and Kior just kept in contact. And when I finally felt like making a serious move, I felt like he was the right person to reach out to and make the moves with, because he just produced the type of stuff that I really enjoyed. So we linked up, you know what I mean? And the rest is, you know, it's going to be history, because, you know, we coming this year for sure. I think we made a really dope, you know, imprint on 2018 doing what we did together. So we're just looking to do more, you know?
Definitely, man. I mean, I'll tell you right now, it definitely, your words on his beats is definitely working. So you definitely got something going there.
Yeah, no, and I'm a big fan of the one producer projects, you know what I mean? Like there's just a consistency there. You can create crazy concepts, you know, bring the storytelling back, you know what I mean? Like a lot of ill stuff can happen. So
like a lot of things that you're talking about already, like having a concept to the album, having one producer on the album, like these are throwback type of ideas. I hate the word throwback, but these are ideas that we grew up on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I'm definitely still rooted in a lot of the traditional parts of the art, you know what I mean?
So tell us about that. How did you start rapping? Like, where did that come from? Like, tell us your history. Tell us Cousin Feo history in this hip hop.
Cousin Feo history, man. I gotta give all credits to my uncle, man. Well, you know, my uncle Ryan. Where, you know, shout out my uncle, you know what I mean? What up, Theo?
Shout outs to the Theo.
Yeah, nah, he's like my older brother, you know, he's my mom's youngest brother, but he's only a couple years older than me and whatnot. And, you know, he grew up with the Bone Thugs, with the Wu-Tangs, with the Easy-E's, with so much music, and he would just pass me down his tapes, you know, and then I would just study those tapes, and I was just soaking in all this wordplay and these rhymes. I really obviously didn't know half of what the rappers were saying at the time, you know, but as I grew older, you know, just, you know.
How old were you, would you say?
Man,
when you started listening to like a rapper, like rap, and
probably
you
like
to it.
10, 11, 12, like listening at least.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, my uncle would give me a tape, you know, this is like 13, 14, and I just kept going. I'm going from, you know, grade school to high school, you know, so now I'm digging for my own music and going to shows and you know, just tagging along as much as I could with anything that he would do. But he would just always pass me down, you know, gems, you know what I mean, things to study. And that just built.
Did he notice something about you that you liked hip hop and that you were into it?
Maybe, you know what I mean? I've never really asked him. I think I was just being a nosy nephew, you know what I mean? Just trying to be like my uncle, you know, his homies would come through and they were all graffiti heads and they be hitting the black books and, you know, fucking had just snuck around the corner to smoke some weed or whatever. So I'm all mad curious and, you know, just trying to be involved or whatever. And, you know, I just soaked in as much game as I could. And, you know, I took it and ran with it in my own direction, you know?
Yeah, speaking on that, as far as MCing, when did you say, hey, you know what, I'm a MC. This is me. I'm a MC and this is
I'll probably say like 16, 17. Like, I felt like it, you know what I mean? But you still got to put in the work and show and prove and do all those things, you know, to really be considered a legitimate one. You know what I mean? You got to be battle tested. You got to, you know, show that you can hang with the best.
I don't mean to cut you off real quick, but we are going to go into your next track.
Oh, for sure.
All right. It looks like it's going to be Normandy Streets, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's what's up. Well, this is Neighborhood Watch Presents, for the record, brought to you by Ill Remedy Studios. This is Cousin Feo, and we'll be going into Normandy Streets.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Check me out. Cousin Feo, Keo Meteor. Yeah. It's no secret that the corner is hot. They make moves around here, so take notice and watch. A lot of misfortune and thoughts. Young cats exporting the rock, extorting the cops. So they got bad at him by deporting his pops. When Marvin Harrison with it, you know, imported the Glock. Ordering shots, feds know what they recording the spot. They used to watch and split portions and cop. Had everything for him, from the quarter to drops, the floors on the yacht. Barely knew me back then, he just moved me with props. Like, you could be a poet as important as pop. Potent and pop, I know it's a lot, but with the focus you got, you could be the illest whether you know it or not. My self-torment, homie, happiness, the Lord is will stop. My self-portrait more like finding forest, still lost in the forest of thought. Just need a moment to drop and put a prayer in the air, and I'm just hoping it pop. Yeah, I put a prayer in the air and I'm just hoping it pop, because it's nightfall on these Normandy streets. They've been warring out here like it's Normandy Beach, getting high to the days when it was normally peace. Hoodie on when I formally speak, informing the streets, informing slave dormant man hoping to sleep. Immortals with heat, leaping through portals, never cordial with beef. The Moors are deep and his crooks with stuck in every nook and cranny. They street smart like they reading books in alleys. Rooks get shook when the crooks get aggy and won't make it on battalion blocks, cause the shit'll get deep as the canyons drop. I've seen it all from drug addict to companions pop. Another give the keys like Sebastian Bach. Let medallions rock, fighting dying for the champion spot. I'm in the club, bad one with an Italian pops who used to hit the races just to watch the stallions trot. True story. Kind of fumbled up a couple bars, but you know, y'all get the gist.
Man, 2 for 2 in this motherfucker. Good looking out.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Shout out my man Keo once again with the production, you know what I mean?
So yo, man, tell us about all the concepts you talk about. This. I mean, Normandy Streets. I'm already thinking of many different things.
I mean, I grew up in, you know, Normandy is one of the principal streets, you know, in MidCity area and whatnot. Okay. You know, family grew up off of that, you know. Just the street that I'm familiar with, you know what I mean? Things happen off of shit like that, you know what I mean? So it's just me always being observant. I've always been an observant kid, you know, just always paying attention to the scenery, you know what I mean? So it's just really kind of painting the pictures for people as far as where I'm from, what's going down, what the energy's like, what the people are like, you know what I mean? Just painting a picture with words, you know?
And so, like, also talk about the parallel you made with Normandy Beach.
Well, you know, if anyone's familiar, you know, got the little history buff or is into war movies or anything like that, you know, if you watch Saving Private Ryan, like one of the opening scenes, you know, there's Normandy Beach is one of the big, you know, moments in that war and whatnot. So when I say they've been warring out here, like it's Normandy Beach, you know what I mean? Like it's a reference to the street because it's similar, you know, things have been happening on that, you know, on that level, you know what I mean? And so I just made that comparison too because my boy Keo's from France, you know what I mean? So every MidCity to Marseille, right? And then you got Normandy Streets, you know, there's a French reference in every title, you know, so that's one of the little minor details, you know, that we like to get in there for the sake of just being creative, you know what I mean? Like,
and then like you know, you was talking very much about advancement in hip hop and your history of hip hop. So you explain to us, man, like the rhyme schemes you was going through, because like that's not something that's everyday. Like everyday persons ain't picking up on the schemes, and I definitely seen you flip it twice and come back to the same one. But explain that, man. Explain, because you was talking about your rhyme words earlier, putting the whole pattern together. Now tell the people about the rhyme scheme, like how that it really is the pattern you was doing with the words.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, like I can actually, the best thing I can say about this verse and just the scheme for it, like. I was writing a lot of this material like in one of the low points, you know, my personal low points, you know what I mean? Wasn't doing too well, whatever. So I was just fucking spending days with the beats, just literally just me and the beats. And Keo sent this through, and I think I tore out like 3-4 pages from different rhyme books where I had little things just scattered around, and just started just putting the puzzle together and whatnot. And I don't know, man. Like, there's moments where, you know, I think in EMC, if you ask them about their best stuff, you know, when they were writing their illest work, that it's almost like an out-of-body experience, you know? Like you watching yourself do something you can't explain. And when it's all said and done, like you just have no explanation for it. Like, this shit is just like a uncanny.
Is that like with a lot of your tracks though?
With this material, I feel like it's specifically because of where I was at in my personal life. So the energy behind it, like the point of view that I'm writing from, there was a lot of emotion there, you know what I mean? So I feel like tapping into all that is why that's what you heard is as dope as it is, you know? Because it's just a mirror reflection of that, you know. I'm just putting words to how I'm feeling, obviously, but
is it all built at a moment, or is it built on over time?
Well, these joints, like they all happen like in hours of themselves, you know. Like I was in one of those zones that I spoke about earlier. When I fall into a zone, I'm just letting it flow, you know. MidCity to Marseille, I pieced it together in about an hour, you know what I mean? Then I'm hit a blunt, you know, I'm chilling, I'm enjoying that, and then the next beat comes on, and it's just like, oh, boom. And like I'm saying, this is
and
now
you're satisfied, like you're satisfied with what you wrote, and you
don't
modify anything. Like it is.
Like I said, ask any MC about their best stuff. Like after they wrote it, they were, you know, you just have that moment where you wish somebody was around that, you know, did you see that? Like, did you see that? You know, and all you were doing was writing. So obviously,
that's
you know,
pretty cool.
But it's just one of those things. It's like doing a windmill dunk in a live game or something. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
You know, it's just that feeling. I can't even explain it. Like, you know, LeBron James knows he's a beast. You know what I mean? But I'm sure every time he does something out of, you know, unexpected, he's still like, oh damn.
Right.
You know?
You could see it in his face, so that I could see where you come from. Like if somebody were to see you, you know, blown away by your own thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I think it's always a good sign that you know what you're putting together is really dope when you're doing that to yourself. When you're like, oh hey, damn.
This is gonna be random for you though. But what's your favorite food? I know you just ate In-N-Out, but
oh man,
what's your favorite food though?
I'm gonna keep it simple and just say tacos. Like
really, what are your favorite kind of tacos though? I'm
probably gonna have to go with the al pastor. Like anywhere I go,
al pastor. That's what I'm talking about.
Anywhere I go, that's how I'm testing the restaurant.
Con todo or what's up?
It all depends on where I'm at. You know what I mean? Some places are the meat and the marinade is right on point. You know, the sauces are right on point. You know what I mean? So I just take it as they serve. Other places you got to add some salsa. You got to do some things. So, but for most part, that's how I test any Mexican restaurant that I go to. Like if the al pastor ain't cracking, I wouldn't trust them to cook any other meat.
Shout out to the tacos.
Yeah,
you know,
Taco all Tuesdays. The taco ladies in LA, I love y'all. Like for real.
Best tacos in LA.
Best tacos in LA? Man, go right there off of Broadway and Slauson. Little taco truck right there. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Fire though.
Posted when though? You gotta tell us their times.
What's up?
You gotta tell us what times they're there. So
oh man, like as soon as the sun goes down, like they're cracking like at 7, 8 o'clock already.
Oh, it's one of them taco trucks?
Yeah. They get busy. It's like 4 or 5 cats.
Okay. How many Taco Kings or King Taco or Taco of the King or King of the Taco or any of those have you been to? Or have you seen? How many? Not King Taco, but you know what I mean.
Oh, the alternate tacos. The alternate versions?
Yeah, the second cousin.
The second cousin.
Auntie. Okay.
Man, you probably see like 3 or 4 of those every other block, man, to be honest, man. Like I keep it a buck. That's why I stay away from them because I know that they're just carbon copies of the real deal, you know?
Horchata or Jamaica?
Oh, chata all day.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I ain't mad at the Jamaica though. As I've gotten older, like my taste buds have matured too. You know what I mean? So
okay, tell them who the greatest football team in all the land is.
The Trojans, man.
That's right. SC all day.
And let Reggie Bush come back to the campus, man. Y'all quit playing my man.
Though, man.
Quit playing my man.
OJ back, cut they? All right.
Yeah.
Yo, so man, Feo, man, we about to cut out here. So let us know, let the people know where they can find your music at. Anything you got coming up, shows you got coming up, projects you got dropping. You talking about this? We talking about Keyor Meteor.
All right.
Shout out to him where they can find his shit at.
For sure. So as far as the music and where people can find me at, it's Cousin Feo, all one word, Instagram and Twitter. You know, you can follow me there if you're interested in what I got going on, what I'm gonna be doing. The project, as far as me and Keyor, the repertoire, like which is gonna be my first official like solo LP. I don't have a timetable for it really yet. There's a few things I'm hoping to line up to really execute the vision I've had for it because I've been sitting on that project for like 3 years. So I want to make sure that it's fully what I imagined it to be, or I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those situations for me with that particular project. Okay, for sure, man. Well, yo, we appreciate you coming through, man, and I definitely want to have you come back through, you know, sometime after this, sometime soon, you know, do some more, show some more of your tracks once this starts getting going. And once you finally have this project done, definitely come back through, man. We'll plug you out as much as we can. Man, I appreciate y'all having me once again, man. Shout out everybody here at Neighborhood Watch, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for having me slide through with y'all. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, Cousin Feo. That's what's up. This is what Neighborhood Watch presents. For the record, brought to you by Ill Remedy Studios. This is Drea1. You can find me at Drea De Niro on Instagram, and you can also find O's. Here he goes. O's 1 million on Instagram. O's 1 million everywhere. Grizzly State. Ill Remedy Studios. Neighborhood Watch. For the record, and we out.